This podcast episode is sponsored by Palumbo and Bertrand, attorneys at law.
Good day, seniors and active adults. Welcome back to our YouTube podcast, Get Your Weekly Slice, where we protect, inform, and educate you, our seniors and active adults, every week about what you should know as you age. It is about keeping you, our seniors, in the know. This podcast is Real Estate Insurance Part 3. And there's a couple of questions I'm going to ask you, and I'm sure that they're concerning for you. One is, why are rates increasing for my home insurance? And why are insurance companies canceling my policy or friends and neighbors' policy when there's no claim? And I want to share with you why that is. So I know over several years, especially here in Florida, you've seen signs that say, we'll replace your roof, call us, your roof replaced for free, And basically that was initiated through a program, insurance program, that's called AOB, or Assignment of Benefits. And what it was designed to do, the Assignment of Benefits, was years ago, it was put in place for the insurance companies so that if there was any damage to an insured's household, they could expedite and make sure the repair was done in a timely manner, but also ensure that who was doing the work got paid and it wasn't drug out in regards to paying the claim. Now, as always, there were a couple scrupulous types of attorneys who found a silver lining, and what they started to do was they started connecting with contractors, remediation companies, handymen, roofers, and plumbers. And when they approached a disaster at a home, what would happen is that they would have the homeowner sign a document which was called the Assignment of Benefits, where the homeowner would allow the contractor, etc., to give the information or have that group take care of the insurance company and establish a dialogue, and they would pass it on to their attorney, who would file a lawsuit if the claim wasn't paid in full based off of the estimate from the contractors. Well, that thing started to snowball. And I know initially with roofs, they always said it was hail damage. And if it was, most of the insurance companies paid for the roof replacement. But the insurance companies started seeing all these claims come in from the Assignment of Benefits, and then they started nipping it up a little bit by prorating the age of the roof and then sharing with the homeowner, this is what we're going to pay for your replacement or roof replacement. So I want to share with you that Assignment of Benefit cases back in 2006, in the whole year, there were 405 cases. And I want to show you how it has escalated and then why we're in a situation with insurance companies here in the state of Florida. In 2018, there were over 30,000 cases filed by just one attorney. One attorney doesn't share with me how many cases, but they're in the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands in 2018. So the law was tightened. It was addressed by by Congress here in the state of Florida. And they put some blocks on there, but of course, the attorneys, as savvy as they are, they were able to skirt through or slime their way through some of those holes, so to speak. So that's what's causing the increases in insurance and also people being canceled when there is no claims. And the other thing is that just in this year, 2022, there have been 6 companies that have gone insolvent. And when they have gone insolvent, that means the policyholders that they have get moved over to Citizens, which is the last resort insurance group here in the state of Florida. When that happens, then what Congress did is they ended up putting a surcharge on each one of our home insurance policies. And that was put in place, and it was like $2 to $3, no more than $5 on an annual basis for each insurance policy. And what that did was covered any insured that their insurance company went insolvent and they had any claims. So those claims were covered through that surcharge. So I just want to share with you why the insurance has increased, why some of your friends, yourself in particular, might have been canceled. And it's the reason behind the assignment of benefits. And it's going to take still another year, 2 years, maybe up to 5 years for the legislature to get everything under control so that the insurance companies become a little bit more on the solvent side and we don't run into this issue in the future. But be on the alert that your insurance is going to be going up or you might be canceled over in the next 1 to 5 years. So just a heads up on that one. And I know that home insurance has an amount to cover losses for homeowners, but I also want you to know that if you don't have flood insurance, and we're at a time right now where we just got done experiencing Hurricane Ian, and here in the Orlando area, especially over on the east side of Orlando, there was a lot of flooding. And keep in mind, most properties are zoned X, which means that there's a chance that there's going to be a flood in that area assigned to that property. And it most likely will happen one time in 100 years. But given the damage that Hurricane Ian did throughout the state of Florida, it was almost like it was a 500-year flood plan. So granted, it would be a fluke if we experienced another one of these in our lifetime, but no one ever knows. And I know, and I'll give you a story, that we're working with one gentleman who's 89 years old, lives over on the east side, and he wasn't specifically in a flood zone. He was in that zoned X 100-year plan. And for some unknown reason, because of the storm and where it was, it just pounded them with rain. And he ended up having in his 1-story home water come in from the garage, from the front door, from the back door, and ruined all of his carpets. And we're still assessing what other damage that he might have. I know, working with seniors and active adults, having something like that is very stressful. And I'm very fortunate because this individual on a learn and lunch for him is that we, as certified senior housing professionals, we want you to be more proactive than reactive. And even though he said he wanted to stay in his home, we asked him, we told him, we want you to stay in your home. If anything happens, we've got the resources to provide you to continue for you to stay in your home. But what we're asking is if any change in your health, or you decide that, you know what, you don't want to stay in your home anymore because you have too many memories because of the recent passing of your wife, we want you to know and we want you to look and see, which we did, took him out, made arrangements to take him out to several locations. So if and when that time comes, you know where you are going. And it was no charge. It was just time, but it enlightened him to understand what's out there available if and when he needs to make that transition. It's an easy decision for him. So I didn't want to get off on a tangent, but I wanted to give you an example of here's a gentleman that's 89 years old, living by himself, that was confronted with this natural disaster, which no one really expected. So it's insurance, it's tough in Florida. And I just want you to know that we're here to help you as certified senior housing professionals and real estate agents. We're here to help you, guide you to the right resources to answer any questions or concerns that you might have, especially if your rates are going up. Let's get with some insurance companies and find out how we can lower that rate, and or if your insurance has been canceled, what we need to do to get you insurance. Don't go without insurance. I mean, if your house is paid for, that's fine. That's your choice. But I don't know of anybody that really doesn't want insurance in case some disaster like this happens unexpectedly. So let's be proactive about our insurance needs when it comes to our house. And don't hesitate to reach out or attend any of the Smarter Senior Seminar Series events. Ask the questions, respond to me via email, Facebook, Instagram, website, Your Florida Haven. We're here to help you. So I want you to understand that. So another thing that you might want to take into consideration, if you own several properties, and you might want to consider having an umbrella policy. It really doesn't cost that much more, but what it does, it gives you an increase of liability in case something happens. And I know you'll agree with me that we are currently in a litigious society where whatever happens, people want to sue, sue, and sue. So the umbrella policy will cover both your car and your home, and it'll give you an increased liability of $1 million. And in most cases, most policies have 100 to 300 to 500,000 on their policies. This increases it by $1 million, so you can have 1.3, $1.5 million in liability insurance. So that can be a lifesaver. It can help you sleep better at night knowing that you're fully insured, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money. So consider an umbrella policy. Consider, depending on where you're at, again, what happened to that senior was a fluke when it come to flooding, but always keep that in mind where you're located if that's something that you might think you need. And we're still having issues again with flooding here in the Orlando area, a week going on 2 weeks after Hurricane Ian. And another insurance policy I want to share with you is life insurance. If you, as a senior active adult, purchased a universal whole life policy back when you were younger because the rates were lower, I want you to understand if it was $25,000 policy, 50,000 or 100,000, the insurance company, when you pass, are only going to pay face value on that policy. And why I'm leading you down this path is simply because if you are still paying a monthly or annual fee to keep the universal or whole life insurance enforced, you don't have to do that because those policies were designed to have cash value. And that cash value, let's just say you've been paying on it for 30, 40 plus years. That cash value, depending on the policy, 25, 50, or 100,000, can be anywhere from $5, 10, or $15,000. And if you pass, your heirs are only going to receive the face value of that policy and not the cash value. So what I'm suggesting to you is that you can reach out to the insurance company and have that policy pay to keep it enforced from the cash value. All you have to do is transition it. And in some cases, you can increase your insurance amount, be it 25, 50 to 100,000, maybe up to 50 to 100 to 200,000. And that increase will be paid out of the cash value and you still have insurance. So I want you to consider if you're one of those seniors or active adults that has a life insurance policy that's a universal or whole life. And if you're in need of money, you can also consider at a discount cashing in that universal whole life policy. And I've explained that in my podcast series, Senior Living Affordability. So I hope this helps. Again, if you have any questions, you know how to reach us. And we hope you have a great day and you're not bothered or you experience some of these AOBs, flood, etc., as we continue aging in place at our homes. And so I hope to hear from you if you have any questions, and or concerns, and know that Alba and I, as certified senior housing professionals, we're here to support you and help you so you have minimal stress concern as you age. In closing, I hope you enjoyed today's Get Your Weekly Slice. If you'd like to discuss further today's topic, you can reach me via email at mike@your, Y-O-U-R, Florida, spelled out, Haven, Haven.com, or call me at 407-340-5291 to set up an appointment. I provide a free 1.5 hour in-person meeting to discuss your future plans on aging while providing you a minimum of 3 options to choose from. Don't forget to follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram. While on my website at yourfloridahaven.com, sign up for my monthly newsletter, RSV to any of my in-person events, which are held at the Orange County Library, Smarter Senior Seminar Series events, and to view any and all of my videos and podcasts. We hope these podcasts are helpful, and if they are, please share with your friends, family, and neighbors by letting them know what we offer as certified senior housing professionals, designated real estate agents, to our seniors and active adults as they age. We're a connector. It is about keeping seniors in the know. Till next time, when you come back to get your weekly slice.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Palumbo and Bertrand, attorneys at law.